Amid the whispers, the air thickened like the storm before a strike. Standing there, every stare felt like a noose tightening around my neck. I could almost hear the cracks of voices, ugly and sharp, slicing through the tense silence. I believed my truth mattered, but those I loved had turned. Their glances pierced me, cold and familiar, each one dredging up memories of my fractured marriage. Memories of him, the man who held my secrets. Now weaponizing them to twist the knife deeper. I stood frozen, heart pounding like a drum in a parade of accusations. The courtroom felt alive, shadows dancing between faith and betrayal. How had it come to this? My refuge now a pit of despair. After hours that dragged like years, I stumbled upon an old phone hidden in my attic, dust-covered and forgotten. Hope flickered as I powered it on. The screen lit up, revealing files that promised salvation or destruction. What had I caught him doing? A breath hitching in my throat, I scrolled through old messages. Names I recognized sent chills through me. Photos, dates, moments, and then something I never expected. A name that sent a tremor down my spine. I had to confront the truth. It was there, festering like an open wound. Did I dare reveal it, knowing it might unravel everything I thought I knew? Every detail pulsated with urgency. My heart raced as I felt every pair of eyes bore into me. But distant murmurs enveloped me. She's hiding something. Can you believe her? Suddenly, the silence shattered. I froze as the judge's gavel fell, echoing like a death knell. All eyes turned towards me. My breath quickened, the weight of expectation crushing. What was I prepared to unleash? Would I wield the truth like a sword, or allow the darkness to swallow me whole? The choice loomed ahead, heavy and suffocating. A bead of sweat trickled down my spine. Every heartbeat echoed like a countdown. And then, just as I gathered my chance to speak, a low murmur erupted from the crowd. "You have no idea what you're forging," a voice hissed from the back. Adrenaline surged. Something worse was coming. Before you go on, let me tell you something. A lot of people have been saying that YouTube, out of nowhere, unsubscribes them from the channel. Take a quick look to make sure the red button is on. That way you won't miss any of the videos still to come. And while you're at it, hit the like button, because it really helps me keep bringing you stories like this. Oh, and tell me in the comments where you're watching from. I'd love to know. Adrenaline clawed at me. My heart pounded. The voice from the back echoed in my skull. Before I could process it, I turned. There he was, Tom, my brother standing where he shouldn't, brow furrowed like he was ready to pounce. Those familiar features twisted with something dark. "Stop pretending," he shouted. The room stilled. My breath hitched. "What do you mean?" I croaked, confusion and dread intertwining. "About Mom? It's not what you think. You don't know the truth." A wave of nausea crashed over me. My vision blurred. Memories flashed. Family dinners, reassuring smiles. Each moment now felt tainted, the air electric with betrayal. "I don't understand," I gasped. "She's been lying all these years." His voice, raw and frantic. The crowd reacted, whispers rising into a storm. My mother, a paragon, now a phantom of deception? Enough. I wanted to scream, but inside I crumbled. "It's not just about you." Tom's eyes blazed. I felt cold sweat on my skin. Everything I thought I knew was tipping like a scale. My own brother? What more was hidden beneath the surface? The gavel dropped again, but it was the world around me that shattered. Should I trust him? Or was this another trap? Silence enveloped me, heavy and thick, full of impending doom. I could barely breathe. What had my family really been hiding? And how could I confront a truth that threatened to sweep away my sanity? The room swirled. My reality felt like sand slipping through my fingers. The weight of it all threatened to crush me. As I stood there, paralyzed, I waited for the next explosive revelation. What was he going to unveil? I couldn't breathe. Tom's words hung heavy, suffocating me. "What truth?" I managed to whisper. The crowd leaned in, anticipation crackling in the air. His eyes flickered with something primal. "Dad, he didn't die in that accident. Mom, she killed him." The words hit like a punch. My world tilted. Nausea swirled in my gut. All those shattered memories? Lies. I felt the walls closing in, the weight of betrayal crushing. The gavel dropped, but all I heard was blood rushing in my ears. "No," I gasped, desperation clawing at me. "You're lying." "Am I?" he challenged. "She's been scared. Scared of you finding out." The court shifted, whispers erupting. My heart raced. "Why?" I choked out. "Because you're just like him. Dangerous." His accusation landed hard, and I recoiled, shocked. My throat tightened with fear. Suddenly, doubt filled me. Had I been blind? What if he was right? I searched the crowd. Faces blurred. A knot tightened in my chest. Silence settled. Unwelcome. Would I ever truly know my family? A cold sweat broke out on my skin. Letting his words sink in felt like death. "Everything you believed? A lie," Tom said, voice low. The truth loomed like a storm, and I stood, shattered, drowning in a darkness I hadn't seen coming. What could I trust now? My mind spiraled. Was I ready to break apart my world, or hold on to the fragments of a truth I didn't yet understand? I staggered. The ground beneath me warped. Tom's words cut through me, raw and jagged. "What do you mean?" I whispered, each syllable tearing at my throat. Desperation flooded my veins. I blinked, but the horror didn't fade. Mom wasn't just scared. She was guilty. His voice dripped contempt. Faces in the crowd mirrored my disbelief. The whispers grew louder, swirling like a tempest. "Lies!" I shouted, though doubt clawed at my insides. But he continued, relentless. "She covered it up. You were in the dark, and now you're just like her." Ice coursed through my veins. "Like her?" I echoed. Unease clenched my chest. Was I truly capable of that darkness? Sweat beaded on my brow. I forced myself to breathe as the courtroom felt like it was closing in. "You don't understand." "Don't I?" His eyes burned. "You can't escape your blood." The weight of his words slammed me like a brick wall. My world teetered. Suddenly, a buzzing in my pocket. I didn't check. My heart raced faster than I could think. What if it was him? "Mom." I lost my voice. The word tasted foreign. Tom smirked, predator-like. "She'll do anything to keep her secret safe. Just like she did with Dad." "No, this isn't." I shook my head, but the truth slithered through my thoughts, dark and seductive. The air thickened with suspicion. The crowd shifted, judgment creeping into every gaze. I felt like I was on trial. And then I caught a movement in the corner of my eye. Tom glanced over his shoulder, fear etched into his face. Something else was coming. "Tom?" I breathed, moving closer, confusion twisting into sharp dread. What was he hiding? The crowd held its breath. He stepped back, eyes darting, whispers growing. "Don't," I warned, but he was gone, slipping into the shadows of the courtroom. A lead weight settled in my stomach. Where was he going? I needed to follow him. But what if he was right? My world disintegrating, I turned to the judge, a plea in my eyes, but there was no mercy there. Would anyone believe me now? Silence fell again, thick and suffocating. The truth, whatever it was, it loomed. A shudder ran through me. What lay beyond this moment? Would I uncover the darkness that had seeped into my life, or was I already too far gone? I staggered, breath catching in my throat. Tom's words twisted like a knife. "No, that can't be true," I whispered, the heat of shame rising in my cheeks. A million memories surged, unraveling like thread. I felt the eyes of the crowd, judgment burning into my skin. Then it hit me, a pulse of clarity cutting through the chaos. Mom's panic during Dad's funeral. The way she looked at Tom when he asked questions. "You're lying," I shouted, but my voice trembled, half a plea, half a challenge. But just as I braced for his reply, a figure emerged behind me, the bailiff, stepping forward, a somber expression etched on his face. "Ma'am, we need to talk." My heart raced. "About what?" "About your father's case. There's new evidence." A chill gripped me. My tightly held world teetered on the brink of collapse. "What?" I gasped, dread clawing at my insides. "Your mother, her involvement, it's deeper than you think." Every cell in my body ignited with fear and anger. Was I standing in a tapestry of lies, and my mother was the queen of deception? The world around me spun, the gavel's echo fading into nothing. I searched the crowd for Tom, but he was gone, lost in the sea of whispers. Would anyone stand by me now? I felt the glint of betrayal slicing through my heart. "Did she do it?" I croaked, trembling with uncertainty and dread. The bailiff hesitated, eyes locked on mine. "Please, just tell me." "Ma'am, you may not want to know." The air thickened. The truth loomed high above me, dark and hovering. Just how far did my mother's secret stretch? A scream of silence swallowed my question. What lay beneath those surface lies? Would I unravel the horror, or was I simply threading another nightmare? The bailiff's words hit me like a wave crashing against jagged rocks. My heart raced, the room spinning. "What do you mean, deeper?" He took a deep breath, eyes darting around as if someone might overhear. "Your mother wasn't just involved in a cover-up, she orchestrated it." My breath caught. Orchestrated? The word felt foreign, monstrous. No. It escaped my lips like a plea. "It gets worse," he continued, voice lowered. "Your mother, she may have had reason. Your father was abusive." I staggered back, the ground shifting beneath me. Every memory of warmth, every smile, twisted into something grotesque. "You don't mean—" "Yes," he nodded gravely. "She feared for her life, your life." Fear surged through me. This wasn't just about betrayal. This was a new darkness, a shadow over the family I had fought to defend. Anger rocketed through my veins. How could she? The crowd hummed. I could feel their judgment, the weight of their eyes. Faces blurred as I sought Tom in the chaos, but he still hadn't returned. My mind reeled. Why didn't I know? I gasped, the taste of betrayal sour on my tongue. The bailiff looked pained. "She needed to protect you. Who was she protecting me from? My father? Or from the truth? Would I ever feel safe again?" The room pulsed with tension, silenced whispers wrapping tighter around me like a noose. Then, a gnawing thought. If my mother could take such drastic measures, what else lay hidden? I felt sick. The truth, once elusive, now clawed at my mind. Did I even know my family at all? Ma'am, the bailiff began, but I cut him off. Enough! I couldn't listen. Not anymore. I felt the world crumble, the air thick with impending doom. Tom's sudden return was a jolt. He pushed through the crowd, eyes wild. What was he hiding? Tom. I called out, a plea laced with confusion. What did you know? His silence whispered louder than words, charged with unspoken secrets. Would I have the strength to face this? Secrets were tearing at the seams of my reality. Would any of this truth set me free? Or was I destined to drown in its depths? Tom's gaze pinned me to the spot, his eyes wild with something I didn't understand. You think Mom killed Dad? I stammered, the words tasting like poison. A heavy silence fell, squeezing the air from my lungs. But he didn't answer. Instead, he took a shaky breath, looked around, and whispered, "What if she didn't do it? What if it was you?" The accusation slammed into me. My heartbeat thundered in my ears. What? I choked, nausea swirling in my gut. The crowd murmured, eyes darting toward me like daggers. It's what I saw that night. You were there. Memories crashed over me, dark and heavy. I felt the room spin. No, you're wrong. But doubt slithered in. It was possible I didn't remember everything. What if you were the reason? His voice cut through my panic. Don't you see? The shadows stretched, secrets clawing at my mind. I staggered back, desperate for air. Tom, please, I begged, my voice quaking. But his expression held nothing but truth. My breath quickened. The walls felt like they're closing in. I had to tell you. I had to protect you. Protect me? My skin prickled. What had I done? What if... My voice broke, the gravity of his words choking me. The truth was suffocating, a weight I couldn't bear. Would I dare to chase after it? A new darkness loomed, and fear gripped my heart. Could I trust anyone anymore? I felt the walls close in, Tom's words echoing in my mind. What if it was you? His eyes bore into mine, a storm of fear and accusation. I opened my mouth to deny it, but the truth clawed at me. Tom, stop, please, I pleaded, panic rising. But then he leaned closer, voice nearly a whisper. You don't remember, do you? What you did that night? A wave of nausea crashed over me. I staggered back, the ground shifting. Memories flashed, darkness, shadows, but they twisted away from clarity. What was he implying? You're scaring me. The bailiff eyed us nervously as the crowd leaned closer, breaths held. Mom didn't kill Dad. You did. Cold sweat dripped down my back. My heart raced. The world narrowed to his accusation. No, that can't. I wouldn't. But doubt curled around my thoughts. What if I had dark corners I never faced? What if... I grasped the edge of the table for support. But tremor ran through my hands. My gaze darted to the crowd, their faces contorting with disbelief, judgment swelling. Silence descended, piercing and heavy. Would I ever escape this chaos? Would I ever feel whole again? The danger loomed, invisible yet suffocating. What lay buried in my past? Could I even trust myself? I felt my world shift, the ground beneath me quaking. No, I didn't! My voice cracked as I faced Tom, disbelief wrapping around me like a suffocating veil. He had to be wrong. I couldn't have done anything to Dad. Think, you can't just dismiss it, he shouted, pain in his eyes, like he was pleading with me to see. I staggered, cold sweat creeping down my spine, the room spinning. Suddenly, my mother appeared in my mind, her pleading eyes always scared. Why? I whispered, tears pricking my vision. Why would I hurt him? Because you didn't know. You were just a kid. His voice shook. You were there. I saw you. Nausea gripped my stomach. A flood of confusion overwhelmed me. You saw me? What do you mean? I mean, the night he died. You were outside. I heard you screaming. The crowd shifted. The tension thickened like fog. I couldn't breathe. Pain and rage warped my chest. Tom, stop! But my voice barely made it out. Protected you, he hissed. But this isn't just about Dad. What else happened that night? Panic shot through me, like ice water in my veins. Dark fragments of memory flitted at the edges of my mind, but they slipped away when I tried to grasp them. I forced myself to hold on to something real, to stay grounded. You're scaring me. Good, he spat. You need to wake up. Then it hit me. His look, a monster in pain. You think But a commotion broke out. The bailiff stepped forward, eyes wide. We have to do something now. The doorway loomed behind him, shadows shifting. What do we do? My voice trembled. I don't know. The evidence, it changes everything. The room crackled with whispers. Uncertainty pulsed like a living thing. What evidence? I turned back to Tom, desperation clawing at my throat. But he stepped away, the crowd closing around him, filling me with dread. Would I ever understand? Silence enveloped me, thick and heavy. Doubt snarled, wrapping around my heart. Was this the truth, hidden all along? All I wanted was clarity, a world I could trust. But now, all these questions weighed down. Did I even know who I was? As the bated silence hung in the air, I felt something fracture within me, and I realized maybe I had opened Pandora's box. Tom's words hung in the air, heavy and suffocating. My world fractured as doubt clawed at the edges of my mind. Then it happened. The truth roared to life, brighter than any lie. Mom was scared, yes, but not of me. She had fought for her freedom. Tears streamed down my face as I turned to the crowd, voices merging into a hushed anticipation. I will find the truth, I whispered, realizing my power was lie's greatest enemy. As the gavel struck once more, a new chapter flickered to life within me. That darkness, replaced by a resolve that felt electric. Tom stepped forward, shadows retreating from his face. I'm here. We'll face this together. I nodded, holding on to his hand as a tether. The courtroom lay scattered as we exited. A hush fell over the onlookers, their expressions blending fear with curiosity. With each step I felt lighter, no longer shackled by fear. I was ready to uncover the hidden truths, my mother, my father, even my recollections, all swirled in an intricate web of what could be. Life beckoned now, vivid and raw, a storm waiting to be unraveled. As we left, uncertainty lingered, but the path ahead twinkled with hope. This was not the end. No longer bound, I was reborn, determined to uncover every dark secret lurking in my past. The shadows may linger, but their power weakened. I would face my reality head-on. You need to subscribe now. This is the moment to show your support. Don't wait any longer to share. Confirm your subscription so you don't miss the next exclusive stories. Press the like button now to help the algorithm. Write in the comments your reactions and theories about the ending. Share this video with at least 5 friends who need to see this conclusion. If you liked my story, keep going and watch the next one that's appearing now. I think it will move you too.